Alright, so we come to the last session of the unit session, so that's heuristic method. By the end of this session, you should be able to state and explain heuristic method of teaching mathematics. And what is heuristic method of teaching? Heuristic method is derived from the Greek word which means I find. The heuristic method is a technique by which people learn to reason for themselves. I find. So you have to more or less discovery and investigation. In this method, the child is put in place of a discoverer. It aims at removing the shortcoming attribute to lecture method. Stand supporters of this method are of the opinion that every child should be made a discoverer and inventor. So the teacher allows the child to help himself with reasoning and argument. So what are the procedures in heuristic method? The teacher presents practical problems to the people. The teacher's role is not to solve the problem for the people, but to enable them solve the problem for themselves. The teacher is required to encourage, help, or guide the people by asking questions. The extreme form of this method is that the teacher stands aside as an onlooker and the child selects his own path. The child needs guidance in this method. Then there are certain things you should know. False heuristic and true heuristic. The success of this method depends largely on the good questioning. The teacher no longer teaches, he guides also. The learner no longer listens, he finds. So the question should be given in the proper context. Now, the first heuristic is that it is true that a square has all sides equal. What is the truth in this? What do you know about the size of a square? Do you remember that the area of a rectangle, or do you remember that the area of a rectangle is equal to length times breadth? Then the truth is that, or the true heuristic is that, how do you calculate the area of a rectangle? That's how to place the question. Instead of telling the student that, tell me whether the profit or loss percent is calculated on the cost or selling price, you can ask the student, on what price do we calculate profit or loss? So what are the merits? The merits is that the student becomes an active participant in the learning process. The student thinks for himself or herself and does not merely listen to information. The student acquires a real understanding and clear notion of the subject. It gives him or her a complete mastery of what he or she has learned. It creates in them a spirit of inquiry. The student becomes self-reliance. Memorization work becomes light. It gives students happiness and mental satisfaction. Encourage them towards further achievement. What are the demerits? It demands extraordinary labor and especially preparation from the teacher who is already overburdened. It is a slow method. Every teacher may not be able to use it successfully. The teacher must be gifted with the heuristic spirit. Every child cannot be expected to be a gifted discoverer. Immature child may have difficulty. Yeah, we are that.